Hey everyone, Shabby Gamer here, and welcome back to part number 2 of our WWE 2K16 Universe Mode Battleground pay-per-view shared between both Raw and SmackDown. Now, if you haven't seen part 1 of this video yet, then I do suggest you go back and check that one out first. We had some really good matches in that first half, including Rock vs. Austin for the SmackDown Championship. We also had Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles at a tables match for the Intercontinental Championship. We had the Empire, Tama Tonga and Tangaroa taking on Edge and Christian for the Raw Tag Team Championships. And then, of course, we had Cesaro versus Tommy End for the European Championship as well. So be sure to go back and check that out. There will be a link in the description below for part number 1. But here in part number 2, we're kicking things off with a great match here. American Alpha challenging for the club's SmackDown Tag Team Championships. And here we go. Here comes the challengers, American Alpha. And of course on SmackDown a couple of days ago we saw Chad Gable pick up a one-on-one victory over Doc Gallows. And there's a lot of respect between these two teams. A lot of respect. And I think that was really going to help us have a great match here this evening. As I said, Chad Gable came out on top of a one-on-one match against Doc Gallows, which really give them the extra bit of momentum going forward here into this championship match. And then here come the SmackDown Tag Team Champions at the moment, the Club. And I would imagine that... I can imagine that... the WWE are definitely going to make an extra set of tag team championships for SmackDown. It only makes sense to do so. I would hope they're going to get them done before SummerSlam. It makes sense to do so, but they've not even mentioned it as yet. They've not mentioned about having their own women's division or their own tag team division. So I'm sure that will happen. Whether it'll happen before SummerSlam or whether they'll wait until after SummerSlam, because of course SmackDown have announced they're going to have their own pay-per-view in September. Of course, Backlash. Maybe they'll wait until then to crown their first tag team champions. It's a possibility. Really thinking about it, I think American Alpha have to be a complete shoo-in for that, surely. We are going to start things off with Carl Anderson and Jason Jordan inside the ring. It's a shame, isn't it, that it was announced today that Shelton Benjamin, who was due to be making a return to WWE, has picked up a shoulder injury. I don't know if he's picked up a shoulder injury, or from what I've read, it almost sounds like that he didn't know he had this injury, and it was sort of spotted in the WWE medical. That's how it almost sounds to me. But I think Jason Jordan is the natural successor to Shelton Benjamin, really. He is just that agile. He's an incredible wrestler. Great collegiate wrestling background as well. And I think Jason Jordan really has the ability to mimic what Shelton Benjamin did when he was... when Shelton Benjamin finally got the chance to go as a singles competitor in the original draft split. I think that's what Jason Jordan has got. And I think at some point Jason Jordan will get a singles run, as probably will Chad Gable as well. I think both guys are just so easy to get over. I love American Alpha. I think they're incredible. And I'll be happy once the new set of rosters sort of settle down a bit and we stop having sort of just basic squash matches. I think I'll be happy then, because I think the match we had on SmackDown last week, was it American Alpha versus the Vaudevillains, and they had Vaudevillains go under American Alpha quite easily. I'm hoping that don't get me wrong, I want to see American Alpha win. I want to see them the first tag team champions on SmackDown, but also I want to see them in decent matches. I don't want to see them just being put over, because some of the matches they put on NXT have been incredible, and I don't want them to end up losing the hype, because at the moment the hype of how good they are is mainly because of how good their matches have been. So people will probably get bored. Jason Jordan there with the arm breaker on Doc Gallows now. Picking Gallows up. Fall away slam. Showing his strength there. And I really hope that all 4 of these guys are going to be on the 2K17 roster. I can't see why they wouldn't be. It just makes sense to me that they would be. Doc Gallows and Carl Anderson made their debut. I just got a feeling that Gallows and Anderson might end up being DLC. But for me, I think American Alpha, who debuted a very long time ago, surely they should be in the game. I'm thinking 2K would have probably taken credence from what happened last year when they got a lot of hassle for not including the 4 horsewomen in the game. I think they probably would have thought about it a bit more now, thinking, well, it's like I've mentioned in previous videos, if I was 2K, I would have thought myself, right, I'm going to put all these NXT people on the roster because these are the people that have got a chance of being promoted onto the main roster in the next 12 months. And I think that's what they should do, but I think at the same time, they should stop treating NXT as a feeder brand, because it's not really at the moment. NXT has got a massive fan base of its own. So I think they should just include the full NXT roster. I know it's difficult because the NXT roster fluctuates and changes so often. But I think it would be really good to have the full roster on there. And looking at the NXT version of the game, which I pre-ordered, you've got the picture of both members of the Revival on the case. You've got Asuka, you've got Bayley, you've got Alexa Bliss. You've got quite a lot of people that weren't on the 2K16. Carl Anderson there jumping over the top, sending Gable face first into the mat. Oh. Sorry if you hear my chair moving around quite a bit. I seem to have just gained some trap wind and it's fucking killing me. Oh. Anyway, Chad Gable now sending Carl Anderson off the far post, and both guys shoulder tackle and no one goes down. Now Chad Gable sending Carl Anderson into the corner and into his tag team partner, makes the tag. Oh, interesting bit of tag team manoeuvring here. Super double backdrop there by American Alpha on Carl Anderson. Great move. And then Gable taking out Doc Gallows as well. This could be a quick one, this one. It's only enough for a 2 count. I've got a feeling that might have been their tag team finishing manoeuvre, you know. Let's look at that. Both guys mimicking it. Looked like a tag team finish, and you just think to yourself, if the referee had got down a bit quicker and made the count, then he may have just pulled that one off. Jason Jordan now bringing Carl Anderson back up to his feet. Belly to belly suplex. Anderson goes down. There's the pin. Well, again, it's only enough for a 2 count. Chad Gable came in trying to block Doc Gallows off. It just wasn't quickly enough. Doc Gallows breaking the pin, shall I say. And now Jason Jordan lining Carl Anderson up. There's the angle slam as Chad Gable taking Doc Gallows out on the outside still. If Jason Jordan go for the pin here, he could pull off the win. There is the pin. 1, 2. He's done it. He has done it. American Alpha pulled this one off. Doc Gallows and Chad Gable fighting on the outside of the ring. Gave Jason Jordan an opportunity to hit the angle slam on the inside of the ring. And what a great win that is for American Alpha. They are now the tag team champions. They are finishing this universe mode with the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and it would not surprise me if they get the new SmackDown Tag Team Championships very soon into our new universe mode, starting this week. Look at that, just dropping Chad Gable across his knee there, Carl Anderson, and then just choking him out as well. And there was the pin, but it was only enough for a 2 count at that point in the game. And here you see, this was straight after that double super backdrop, and Chad Gable did a great job of taking Doc Gallows out, but the referee was so slow in getting down and counting the pin. I think that sort of caused a problem. And at this point in time, Doc Gallows and Chad Gable are outside the ring having a fight, completely unaware of what's happening inside the ring. You see Doc Gallows there taking Chad Gable down that backbreaker. And it wasn't until it was too late. Well, I didn't think he noticed at all, Doc Gallows, until he heard the bell go. I don't think he noticed he even lost. But there we go, brand new tag team champions here in the shape of Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. What a great way to start part number 2 of this video. We still have 2 more championship matches to come for you right now. Next, we have our Cruiserweight Championship 6-man ladder match. And then straight after that, of course, we have our Fatal 4-way match for the Raw Championship as well. So don't go anywhere. We've got 2 more fantastic matches to come for you. And I'm so happy with this result as well. It's exactly what I wanted to see. I'm not being biased, but I really want an American Alpha to win this one. And here is our next match of the evening. It is going to be the 6-man Cruiserweight ladder match. We have got Kalisto, we've got Phoenix, Rich Swann, Eddie Guerrero, Johnny Gargano, and Jack Evans. And here we go. Wow, that loading screen was extreme. 6. Well, it was 5 wrestlers you've got to load with a current... Sorry, 5 created wrestlers, a created championship you got to load as well. Wow, that was a really long loading screen. Thankfully for you guys, I'm going to cut it all out for you. And here is our champion, our Cruiserweight champion from day number 1 since his belt was available. Of course, he won the Cruiserweight Classic, or our Global Cruiserweight Championship, to become the first Cruiserweight champion. He's defended the belt a few weeks back against Tyson Kidd as well. And now his strongest, his biggest, his most difficult challenge is going to be defending it here in the 6-man ladder match. And here comes entrant number 2 into this match. A man that I am really happy to see finally get signed up by WWE. He deserves to, really. It's been about 18 months now since Gargano and Chat. Was it 18 months or maybe a year, maybe? It's been so great to finally see them get signed up, though. They've really put their heart and their soul into WWE since they've signed up, and of course, just watching their match at the Cruiserweight Classic a couple of days back just shows you just how much these 2 guys have really just... I don't know if they've improved as much. I think they have improved because it just... Their match... I don't know if anyone else noticed this, but for me, in the Cruiserweight Classic, their match just felt different to everybody else's. Gargano and Ciampa's match just felt a step ahead of everyone else's. I don't know if they were more comfortable in a WWE ring or something along them sort of lines, but they just felt like they were a level ahead of everyone else. I don't mean that as an insult to everyone else in the competition. Everyone else has been fantastic, but their match just felt more professional. It felt like it was more of a WWE match. I don't know if I'm just making this up or what, but I went into it knowing it was a good match anyway because I'd read the results weeks ago. So I've got a... If you hear me slurping away there, I've got a hot drink on the go at the same time. And here is Rich Swann. I can't believe this entrance actually exists for Rich Swann because it's such a perfect entrance for him. I can't quite tell whose entrance it is. It might be... I don't know whose entrance it is actually. But this guy is just pure charisma. And it wouldn't surprise me if he does make his debut on Raw when the Cruiserweight division does come in. It wouldn't surprise me if he goes on and wins the entire competition, to tell the truth. I'm sort of in between what they're going to do, and I've just got a feeling that WWE might try and put over one of their own talents to win the competition. I got a feeling it could be a Rich Swann. I've got a feeling it could be Brian Kendrick as well. I'm hoping it's not Brian Kendrick though, because I think he can get over anyway, but I'm thinking if a Rich Swann wins the Cruiserweight Championship and then gets put straight on Raw with the Cruiserweight Championship, then I think that would be a really good way of putting him over straight away. With someone like for example, a Jack Gallagher or a Zack Sabre Jr. or a Kota Ibushi winning it, then those guys, I think Kota Ibushi and Zack Sabre Jr. both said they're not signing a contract with WWE at this present time. Both have said that in the next year or so things might change. I think Zack wants to, but for personal reasons he can't as of yet. But I just think it wouldn't make... Well, I wouldn't mind myself, but I just think the WWE would prefer to give the title of winner of the Cruiserweight Classic to somebody who's going to be sticking around, someone who can build upon that. And there are a few people that are rumoured to have signed, someone like Cedric Alexander potentially, or Grand Metalik as well, signed up as far as I'm aware. There's also Jack Gallagher, someone they do believe is going to sign up. Noam Dar, someone as well they're looking at. So there's quite a few guys in this Cruiserweight Classic that may very well be signing up with WWE very, very soon. So it really could be anyone, but I would like to see Rich Swann win it, because I think he would instantly transition very easily up onto Raw. And if they are going to crown the winner of the Cruiserweight Classic as the first Cruiserweight champion as well, then I think it would work quite well. So Kalisto, of course, is going to be part of our new Universe mode. He's going to be over on SmackDown. A little bit of a strange one, because I was convinced that Kalisto was going to end up on Raw. Because if they're going to have a Cruiserweight division knocking around on Raw, it seems pointless not to have Kalisto there. He personifies the Cruiserweight division, really, doesn't he? And there is Jack Evans now, making his way into the ring. Our final competitor in this match. And a ladder match, 6-man ladder match, is really something where any of these 6 guys could walk away with the championships, really, couldn't they? A ladder match is just so open, anybody. Just look at WrestleMania. Everyone was convinced that either Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn was going to walk out with the Intercontinental Championship. And just out of nowhere, from being put in the match as a joke, Zack Ryder walks out with the Intercontinental Championship, which I was amazed with. And I'm hoping Zack Ryder gets a bit more sort of time now that we've started the new roster split. I think he should get a bit more opportunity, a bit more exposure. I don't know whether that's going to be as a tag team along with Mojo Rawley, or whether he's going to continue doing some single stuff. But I think it's more likely going to be as a tag team, because I don't think Mojo's going to be too effective on his own. I don't think Mojo is necessarily very well liked. I think he's more liked now than what he was when he first debuted. When he first debuted, oh my god, I couldn't stand the guy. I really couldn't. I thought his whole gimmick and everything was just a disaster. But now he seems to have grown on me a little bit. Not to the point where he's as good as what I think some of the WWE people internally think he is. It's a bit like when a few other people debuted and they were saying about how good they were. Although I must agree, when Enzo Amore debuted, and I think JR was at ringside and he said WWE have really got something special here in Enzo Amore. I, again, didn't think much of it, and then as soon as I did see him, I was like, yeah, you're right, you're right. As soon as I finally saw him, that's incredible. And he's just grown on you from there, hasn't he, Enzo Amore? Now on the main roster, just has the fans eating the palm of his hands every single week. That whole thing with Sasha Banks last week was just hilarious as well. I say last week, it was the week before, because I'm recording this early, aren't I? Yeah. We've had another episode of Raw since I've recorded this. Normal like suplex there by Jack Evans, who now makes his way up onto the top rope. And what's he going to go for here? It's a 450 by Jack Evans, and Johnny Gargano moved out the way. I think Rich Swann went for a springboard moonsault as well. And Johnny Gargano moving out the way just took everyone out of it. And see Gargano throwing the ladder into the ring and caught Eddie Guerrero. But Guerrero now has a hold of the ladder himself. And gives it back to Johnny Gargano in the face. And again, Rich Swann with that lion salt. This time getting a little bit, but not as much as he wanted again. Eddie Guerrero elbow drop on Johnny Gargano at the moment is being pretty congested inside the ring with all 6 guys still there. It's Kalisto and Phoenix now fighting. Kalisto drops the outside. Phoenix joins him out there. And we're down to just 4 inside the ring now. Now goes Johnny Gargano over the top rope. He's going to drop to the outside as well. No. He makes his way back into the ring. We still have 4. And that's when it gets difficult in this type of match. When the people are congested inside the ring. I've just seen the shadow of the championship belt. It looks very solid, doesn't it? Why is there a briefcase there? Come on. It's a Cruiserweight Championship match. Why can't you put the animation of the championship up there? We'll add it to the list of... bugs on 2K16, why not? The novel of bugs are coming out soon. It's a 600-page novel. As now everybody's outside the ring now. We couldn't get them outside the ring a minute ago. Now everyone's out there. As Johnny Gargano just sending the ring steps into the ring. I'll tell you what, if someone like Phoenix here, who's not being paid attention to by everyone else, slides into the ring, he could be potentially go for this, and he is in the ring now. But Jack Evans has spotted him. Phoenix setting the ladder. I don't think Phoenix has spotted Jack Evans yet. Evans comes up behind Phoenix, sends him over, looks for a fallaway slam, but Phoenix managed to break free. And now Phoenix with a Hurricanrana. And all of a sudden the bodies are starting to pile up once again inside the ring. Guerrero sending Johnny Gargano face first into the ladder. The ladder goes down. Rich Swann with a back senton. There's just too much action to even consider trying to keep up at the moment. I'm just end up speechless just trying to look at something. Saito suplex there by Rich Swann on Kalisto. Guerrero lands flat on his back on the outside as well. Johnny Gargano just destroying Guerrero outside at the moment. Throwing him back into the ring. Rich Swann. Sidewinder suplex there on Jack Evans. As there is a razor's edge there by Johnny Gargano. The Salida del Sol by Kalisto. No, that was by Phoenix, sorry. Kalisto goes face first into the mat after tripping over the ring steps. It's just all going on now. And now again, the ring empties. This seems to happen quite often. Everyone seems to just empty the ring at one point in time. Kalisto, oh, there's ladders everywhere now. Johnny Gargano throwing a ladder in. I think it just sort of bounced off Rich Swann and came back. Guerrero now throws a ladder back into the ring. And Guerrero, all of a sudden, everyone's left in there in his own. If he can set the ladder up here and climb it, he'll be looking quite good. But no, in comes Phoenix, Rich Swann, and Johnny Gargano. Swann's really rethinking his decision to get back in the ring now as he takes the ladder to the face. Phoenix sending Rich Swann over the ring. Over the top rope. Jack Evans now sending Johnny Gargano over the top rope, and Eddie Guerrero with that belly-to-belly suplex. I just can't keep track of what's going on. There's just too much going on. Eddie Guerrero is looking for the third amigo. Yeah, it's the three amigos there by Eddie Guerrero. Phoenix bringing Jack Evans back up to his feet. Has him up in like a torture rack position. It's a reverse Death Valley driver and Jack Evans landed almost head first into the mat. Great suplex there by Eddie Guerrero as Phoenix showing off some Lucha Libre style moves there with that head scissors. Guerrero setting the ladder up in a completely random place. As I can't see the screen at all at the moment. I apologise, I've got no idea what's going on. So something just popped up, and there we go, I've got it rid of that. I can get this pop up on my computer, but it shuts down my game recorder, so I can't see what's going on anymore. Right, we're back in it now. Johnny Gargano with a skull-crushing finale there on Kalisto. And nobody's even made an attempt yet to climb the ladder. That's the interesting one. So again, now everyone abandons the ring. It's just Kalisto and Johnny Gargano. Kalisto sending Gargano over the top. And now Kalisto with that ladder. Thought he had enough time to set it up, but Gargano takes the ladder away from Kalisto and gives it back to him right in the face. And now Gargano can set the ladder up, and Gargano can climb here. There's nobody here to stop him, is there? Everyone's outside the ring. Kalisto's down on the outside. Nobody's even noticed Gargano yet. And Gargano's done it. Johnny Gargano out of nowhere. The four guys on the outside of the ring had no idea what was going on. Kalisto was down after being knocked out by that ladder. And Johnny Gargano, the first person to even climb the ladder, has ended up picking up the championship. So Phoenix has held that belt ever since he won the Cruiserweight Classic, but now unfortunately he loses it on his last chance of a defense. And Johnny Gargano, here you see it again, you see Kalisto's down and out here. The other four guys are on the outside, no one even notices what's going on the inside of the ring. And by the time Gargano had brought the championship down, Kalisto had just about got back to his feet, and the other guys outside the ring still hadn't even noticed what was going on. It wasn't until the bell rung they even noticed that they lost the match. And there it is, Johnny Gargano with his first piece of gold on the main roster for WWE. A sight that I hope to see in the WWE in the future. Why not? Both himself and Tommaso Ciampa have really earned their new contracts in WWE. And I hope it won't be too long before we see them on the main roster dominating that situation as well. I'm not quite sure whether the tag team has a lot of longevity. I think both these guys are fantastic singles competitors. But still, I'm so happy to see Gargano with that championship. A man that I've really enjoyed watching on the indie scene. And now finally getting his opportunity like so many before him. And here is our main event this evening. Our final match of this universe mode. Daniel Bryan defends his Raw Championship against The Rock, Goldberg and Owen Hart. And here we go. And here is the Raw Champion. Daniel Bryan, of course, won the championship a few weeks back when he cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase. That's how this match sort of started off, really, didn't it? We saw what was it? The Rock was the champion. That was what I was trying to say. The Rock was the champion. He then he was already scheduled to face off against Goldberg at this Battleground pay-per-view. Then we had a match between The Rock and Owen Hart on Raw. Goldberg made his appearance known at ringside, distracting The Rock on several occasions. Goldberg then left ringside, but Owen Hart still managed to continue on and defeat The Rock, which is why Owen Hart has been put into this match. But straight after that match, out came Daniel Bryan with his briefcase, cashed in his Money in the Bank, and won the championship. So essentially, Daniel Bryan is here because he's the champion. Goldberg's here because he was the official #1 contender. Owen Hart's here because he pinned the champion. And The Rock is here for his championship rematch. That's why all four of these guys have made their way into this match. Of course, on our episode of SmackDown, or Raw, should I say, on our episode of Raw a few days back now, we saw Daniel Bryan teaming up with Goldberg to take on Owen Hart and The Rock. And in that situation, it was The Rock who pinned Daniel Bryan, and he'll be hoping to continue that momentum here this evening. But things will be difficult. It's a Fatal 4-Way match. It's always a lot more difficult in Fatal 4-Way, isn't it? You never quite know. You never quite know what else is going on. We saw that in the ladder match earlier on. You can turn your attention away for just 2 minutes, and if you do, well, you can turn your attention away for just 10 seconds, and in that 10 seconds time you could lose the match. It's as simple as that. And that's exactly what happened to all the guys in the ladder match earlier on. They weren't paying attention to Johnny Gargano in the ring. They weren't paying attention as he climbed the ladder. They were paying attention as he held the championship afterwards. And that's the same sort of thing here. You'll be in your own little battle. Chances are you'll be fighting in pairs. That's what normally happens in this sort of match. But you need to still pay attention to what's happening with the other pair, because the last thing you want is to end up losing this match without actually losing the match. Goldberg is determined that this could be his night to win that championship. He's annoyed with The Rock because, as far as he was concerned, him and The Rock one-on-one, he was quite confident he was going to walk out with the championship. And as I just said, Fatal 4-Way rules makes it a lot more difficult for everybody involved. So he is very annoyed with The Rock for losing that championship. And The Rock is desperate to get his championship back as well. He held that belt for a couple of months. And as we said, he was scheduled to face off against Goldberg one-on-one here at Battleground. But when everything just turned on its head a few weeks back on Raw. And one thing that did happen on Raw the other day was Owen Hart. He was probably, in my mind, Owen Hart would probably be the underdog for this match compared to the other people that were involved. However, for me, Owen Hart was by far the standout of the match. I'd be interested to see if he can do the same thing here this evening in this Fatal 4-Way. Of course, it was his team that won the match, himself and The Rock, but I think Owen Hart actually did the majority of the damage, to tell the truth. That's the way it seemed. Owen Hart now making his way down to the ring, threatening every Tom, Dick and Harry on his way down. Good old Owen Hart. And this could be a really interesting match. And of course, whoever wins this match will forever be known as the Raw Champion here in our second series of this Universe mode. And of course, this will be the last appearance as well for Goldberg, Owen Hart, and The Rock for this. And Daniel Bryan as well, because he won't be wrestling either, will he? So all four of these guys will not be involved in our new Universe mode. So this is really a chance for him to finish off this year in a high. Of course, we'll see them back in 2K17 at some point in some sort of way or form, or should we say? Of course, Goldberg is part of the downloadable content that you get from pre-ordering the game, which we've done. We've got you get a WCW Goldberg and a WWE Goldberg, which is pretty cool. So you get the two alternative attires, which essentially is just the same attire, just one's got black trunks and one's got black shorts with a white trim on. So it's not a massive difference in all fairness, is it? But there you go. Goldberg, oh, great reversal there by Owen Hart from the Gorilla Press, dropping into a DDT. And now The Rock just having his head twisted here by Daniel Bryan. I was calling him Bret Hart there for a second. Goldberg slides free as Owen Hart catches him now. Goldberg playing games with Owen Hart here. I do hate when it does this. Eventually someone will get bored. There we go, Goldberg got bored. Now, I do believe this is a Falls Count Anywhere match. I'm sure that's what I set it up as. It's been a while since I set this card up now. It's been a few hours. Oh, great spear there by Owen Hart, sending Goldberg off the apron, crashing to the ground below. And now all four guys look to fight out on the outside. I do believe this is a Falls Count Anywhere match. This is why everyone's now fighting on the outside. It looked like Goldberg was going to go for a jackhammer there very early, but Owen Hart broke free with a knee to the head. Both The Rock and Daniel Bryan missing running strikes on each other there. And now Daniel Bryan, big knee to the face of The Rock. And the referee just trying to keep track of what's going on both sides of the ring. Of course, he needs to make the pinfall should one of these two guys go for the pin. Fall away slam there by Goldberg, and I think Owen Hart landed partly on the ring steps. Very, very painful then. Big uppercut there by Goldberg. Daniel Bryan drops into the pin. The referee very good there. He saw Daniel Bryan was going to go for the pin, and he actually got out in position early. That's what the referees should be doing in this game. They don't often do that, though. Owen Hart have a baseball bat. Just taking Goldberg down, of course. No disqualifications in a fatal four-way or a triple threat match. It's not very often that they utilise that in real life, though, I've noticed. Owen Hart and Goldberg fight it over that baseball bat, and finally Owen Hart lets Goldberg have it, but right in the face. As a pinning combination there, Daniel Bryan as well to bridge out there. Spins it around into a backslide. And Owen Hart come across, but I think he knew it wasn't going to be enough to keep The Rock down. He's pretty confident of that. Daniel Bryan with a stiff DDT on The Rock. And of course Daniel Bryan versus The Rock was that Money in the Bank match a few weeks back, and Owen Hart with a tombstone piledriver on the other side of the ring there. Referee's down, he can't see the shoulders at all from there, can he? But Goldberg did kick out just about. I was surprised, it's the first time I've ever cashed in a Money in the Bank on one of these games. I thought the match AI versus AI would have been a lot more simple, a lot more one-sided, but it wasn't really. Daniel Bryan struggled to win that. Goldberg taking Owen Hart down. Now Daniel Bryan with a pin on the outside on The Rock. It's only enough for a 1 count in that situation. Referee slides back in the ring as Goldberg just twisting the head of Owen Hart. Technically a submission move, but we shouldn't see a finish there. Goldberg now does going for the pin on Owen Hart. It's only a 1 count. Daniel Bryan spinning Goldberg around now, sending him into the corner. And all of a sudden Goldberg being taken down by the guy who was his tag team partner the other night. And The Rock and Owen Hart go at it as well. Daniel Bryan here on the top. Super backdrop on Goldberg. Crashing him down to the mat. The Rock slamming the face of Owen Hart into the mat as well. Daniel Bryan, big kick to the back of the leg of Goldberg, dropping him down to his knees. Now the kicks across the chest of Goldberg as well. And a big roundhouse to finish it off. And is that going to be enough to finish him off? Daniel Bryan drops into the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. The Rock slid back in, but I don't think it was going to be quickly enough. And he met Goldberg with a kick in the back there. Showing his disdain. Rock now sending Daniel Bryan into the corner. Big boot into the face of Bryan. Owen Hart sending Goldberg straight into The Rock and Daniel Bryan in that corner. Goldberg, they went for the fall-away slam, and once again, Owen Hart manages to break free, now sending Goldberg into the far corner. Rock is stalking Daniel Bryan. And now Rock is locking in the label lock on Daniel Bryan, trying to make a statement there, I think. Not maybe the wisest thing to do. If he'd hit a rock bottom, he might have had a better situation there. It's all getting very crazy now as you see Rock going for a clothesline on Owen Hart and actually catching Daniel Bryan instead. Owen Hart's got the armbar locked in as Goldberg catches the jackknife, and Goldberg broke it straight away as he saw the submission, and Owen Hart broke the submission straight away as he saw the pin. So in both situations there, they didn't go down too well. Rock now with the pin on Owen Hart. It's only enough for a 2 count. Daniel Bryan now sending Goldberg over the top rope. Big right hand sending down to the apron below. Rock creeping up behind Daniel Bryan, catching with that inverted atomic drop. Owen Hart with that baseball bat slides back into the ring and swings that baseball. I think he caught Daniel Bryan, but I think he got a little bit of Goldberg. Goldberg taking that baseball bat, and he goes for Daniel Bryan now as well. Didn't quite get all of him though. Owen Hart once again, sit out tombstone pile driver. Now can Owen Hart continue the damage? No, Goldberg fights free and Daniel Bryan locks in a label lock of his own. And just as Goldberg breaks it up, Owen Hart catches Goldberg with a sharp shooter. The Rock now with an inverted atomic drop on Daniel Bryan, and now that big overhand punch to Owen Hart to break up the submission as well. Owen Hart now with a pin on Goldberg. Oh, he nearly did it, didn't he? He nearly had it there. Oh, I thought Rock had it there for a second as well. I was speechless there for a split second. Daniel Bryan from behind catches the Rock with that great dragon suplex, sorry, but as he hit the suplex, Goldberg caught the Rock in the face with the baseball bat as well. Now Rock just opening up with that baseball bat to the back of Owen Hart. Rock now sending Daniel Bryan over the top to the outside and joins him out there as well. Both Goldberg and Owen Hart now tussling over that baseball bat on the inside of the ring. And Owen Hart loses it once again to Goldberg. If someone can use this, they're going to get a great advantage. And Goldberg does catch Owen Hart with it. Rolls him over, drops into the pin. This could be all, you know. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. Can't believe it now. Goldberg trying to bring Owen Hart back up to his feet, but Owen Hart playing possum. Catches Goldberg with that right hand to the gut. Now sends him into the corner. Owen Hart bringing Goldberg back out, running clothesline in that corner. Daniel Bryan with the Northern Light suplex on the outside on the Rock. Oh, no, oh, I thought he'd done it as well. Wow. I don't know what I can say for how many of these false endings here. It just seems to be going on and on, doesn't it? Now Daniel Bryan and Owen Hart both in the ring as the Rock being opened up by Goldberg with that baseball bat. Oh, Rock takes that baseball bat right in the face now as well. And Rock is in some serious danger here. Goldberg could win this one, you know. Goldberg bringing the Rock up into a powerbomb. Owen Hart drops into the pin. Goldberg not paying any attention. Powerbombing the Rock once again. Oh, but Daniel Bryan managed to kick out now. Goldberg into the pin of his own after that double powerbomb it. Oh, again, it's only a 2 count. Wow, how many more resilient guys could we get in the ring at once? Another pin here by Goldberg on the outside. Referee so slow. And it's not enough. You think if the referee was a little bit quicker in that situation, would he have been able to pick up the 3 count there? Now Owen Hart going for the pin, but it's right in front of Goldberg, who trips over trying to break it up. And that's a big problem with this game there. Goldberg, for some reason, was unable to break that pin because he was too busy trying to clothesline it, which obviously is not going to work. So thankfully that was kicked out of that one. And now all 4 guys here fighting on the outside of the ring. And again, the same thing happening there. Goldberg could only clothesline above the actual pin itself. Owen Hart gets caught with the elbow in the face there by Daniel Bryan. Rock taking Goldberg out with a clothesline. Rock bleeding profusely from the head now. And of course, the longer that blood comes out, the more difficult it's going to be for him to continue on in this match. If you do start to lose energy, Daniel Bryan just concentrating too much here on Owen Hart. Locks in the bell lock, but thankfully for him, the pinfall was able to kick out. And I see Daniel Bryan there held on for a couple of big punches. Now Daniel Bryan with the aeroplane spin on Owen Hart. as Goldberg goes in for the pin on The Rock once again. Daniel Bryan's got his back to the pinfall. Again, it doesn't matter. It was able to kick it out The Rock. Goldberg trying to break it up. It's such a simple thing, the fact they can't break up pins. I don't understand why. It's such a simple thing they should be able to do quite easily, isn't it, really? And running's such a simple thing they should be able to. I understand the idea that if you run so far, it's a little bit stupid, so it stops them, but in some cases, I think that's a little bit too short. I don't think they should fall. I think they should just stop. Or just, like, slow down to a halt. Sort of makes more sense to me. Oh, Goldberg has The Rock by the throat. Takes him up into that big spine buster. Now Goldberg in for the pin. 1, 2. Oh, it's only a 2 count. And now Daniel Bryan with the pin. Oh, and again it's only a 2 count. Wow, it's just so close. Daniel Bryan went for that over the top. And Owen Hart moved out the way and Daniel Bryan went crashing into the mat. All these 4 guys now really going for it. Daniel Bryan trying to break up the pin. Goldberg's not letting go, but The Rock does kick out after a 2. Daniel Bryan now throwing The Rock back into the ring. And I think it'd be good if these two battles were to split up. I think that would work quite well for us. Rock now with a pin. Daniel Bryan's not even paying attention to it. Bryan back in the ring. Rock and Owen Hart on the outside. Daniel Bryan now back to the outside. Rock now with a pin. 1, 2. And again, Owen Hart kicked out. And this match has been a little bit slow and laboured, I must admit. Rock with a schoolboy and Daniel Bryan was able to break that one up. Yeah, this match has got a little bit slow and laboured now. I think everyone's a little bit tired. Everyone's struggling to keep the momentum going. Owen Hart and Goldberg in the middle of the ring. Owen Hart with that knee to the chest of Goldberg. Now sending him into the corner as well. And now Daniel Bryan looks to be lining up The Rock on the outside. Unfortunately for Daniel Bryan, because he's on the outside, he can't use his running knee strike finisher. He only seems to be able to use his label lock submission hold, which is not going to be enough to retain his championship because submissions don't really work on this game at all. Owen Hart with a clubbing blow against the back of Goldberg. And now Owen Hart taking Goldberg up. Sit out tombstone pile driver. This could be all, you know. Owen Hart could do this. Go on, go into the pin. And because the referee was so slow, both pinfalls went on at once. See, that was Owen Hart's chance, that was. He was going to win the championship there. I was sure of that. Daniel Bryan with a pin now. And The Rock does break it up, thankfully. Because it would look stupid if he hadn't. And The Rock looking to continue the assault on Daniel Bryan. But Daniel Bryan still just paying all his attention to Owen Hart. So Rock goes off on Goldberg instead. Sending Goldberg once again to the outside. And now Rock goes on the outside as well. Daniel Bryan with that double diving elbows. I'm quite sure what Daniel Bryan was going for with the legs there. He's not normally a leg submissionist. He normally goes for more of the arms. And now looking for a submission of his own is Owen Hart. Turns Daniel Bryan over into the sharpshooter. Are we going to see a submission victory for only the 3rd time since 2K16 came out? Evidently not. We might still do it, I don't know. Daniel Bryan now with Owen Hart on his shoulders looking for another aeroplane spin potentially. But Owen Hart breaks free in that reverse DDT. I think The Rock broke free from a potential jackhammer on the outside as well. Why Owen Hart's going outside, I've got no idea. Why does he just continue taking down Daniel Bryan? He's got Daniel Bryan in such a good position, you might as well finish him off. And he finally does go for a pin. I don't know what's happened with the AI in this match. It just seems to have gone really retarded all of a sudden. It was fine. The AI has been quite good all night, and then this match it seems to be struggling a little bit. With The Rock on the outside, there's the rock bottom on Goldberg. Owen Hart's up on the top rope. No, he's not. He's going down to the outside. Is he going to make it in time? He doesn't make it in time, and The Rock wins the match and wins his championship back. In what was a little bit of a disappointing match, considering how good the rest of the matches were this evening. It wasn't the best of matches we've seen so far in a Universe mode, but it was still effective. The Rock, who lost his championship to Daniel Bryan only a few weeks back when he cashed in the Money in the Bank briefcase on him, now regains his championship by pinning the man he was originally supposed to schedule here, Goldberg. So this match was full of action, really. There was a lot of stuff going on. And this was the Tombstone Power-Drive on the outside by Owen Hart. It was on the baseball bat. I didn't realise that until now. And Daniel Bryan almost got there in time. He didn't need to get there, really, did he? And this was the point where Daniel Bryan went for the pin on The Rock, while Owen Hart had gone for the Tombstone Power-Drive at the inside of the ring as well on Goldberg. There's just a lot of action at this point in time. Everyone was just so cramped up all the time. When that was one of the main problems. Everyone was just always together. And it never really created enough space. And then when finally The Rock did get enough space, he catches Goldberg here into the rock bottom. Straight into the pin. And Owen Hart got there. I think he got there in time as well, but The Rock was not going to give up his pinfall. He'd already won the match. And there we go, The Rock, bleeding profusely after taking that baseball bat to the forehead, regains his SmackDown Championship. So far this evening, we've seen The Rock lose the SmackDown Championship. We've seen The Rock lose the SmackDown Championship and win the Raw Championship here this evening. So it'll be a very mixed evening for The Rock. Well, guys, that is the end of this episode and the end of this WWE 2K16 Universe Mode. I hope you have all enjoyed it. Of course, if you have, please hit the like button, not just for this episode here, but for the whole Universe Mode in general, just to let me know you've enjoyed it. And then, of course, we will be starting our brand new Universe Mode tomorrow with the up-to-date rosters for Raw, SmackDown, and NXT. Of course, if you are interested in that sort of thing, then please hit that subscribe button as well, so you get a nice little buzz every time I upload a video. It will be every Monday, probably Monday, Wednesday, Friday I'm going to go for. Probably move NXT forward a day just to make it a bit more spread across the week. So yeah, be sure to keep an eye out for that. I've been Shabby Gamer, thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all tomorrow for our very first episode of Season number 3 of our WWE 2K16 Universe Mode.